Well, here we are. How's it going? Can you hear me? Everything sounding good? Everything looking good? How's everybody tonight? I found some theme music, as you heard, some of that smooth jazz, and I am kind of obsessed. I'm not gonna lie. I have been listening to that stuff nonstop for like 3 days now. So why not just pop a little back on in the background here? Hopefully, is that coming through? Can you hear? Anyway, welcome. You may be wondering where the heck are the Gooners, and why is it just Mr. Finch? Well, let me tell you something, Mr. and Mrs. and whoever else is watching, including Tortilla Jackson. Hello, Tortilla. Thank you for jumping in on the YouTube channel. Can you hear the music? Can you hear me? Is everything sounding all right? Anyway, I'm just making adjustments. Yeah, some Austin Power. I agree. I kind of like it. I think it's the flute, like the piccolo-ish thing going on. It's pretty good. I dig it. It's the head bobbing. So anyway, as I was saying, the normally this is the time slot for the three Gooners, and it's just things have not worked out for us pretty much all summer. Just to be totally fair, to be completely honest, and during the middle of the summer, it was mostly on me. I have a young family, and we had the time to take some vacation. We had some time off of work, and obviously no school. So we took those opportunities to do things, and we wrapped them around weekends. And so the show didn't go on. We got one every 3 weeks or so. And that was cool. But now that it's football season, I'm hoping to get, every week. And Tim was able to get with me on the pick show last week, which was super cool. What up, Jamal? Thank you, Jamal, for jumping on. We're just chatting today. So once again, anyway, the other two Gooners the last few weeks have had things going on. Tim is dealing with some strange health issues. I'm not going to be specific about it, but he's dealing with some stuff. But he does get out and about, and I did see him. Saw him, in person just the other day. He came into the place in where. Anyway, so yeah, I saw Tim, so I know he's alive. He's doing well. And once again, he was on the Sunday Pick Show here on the Two Dumb Yinzers. Excuse me, I almost said Two Dumb Network Yinzers. I almost got it backwards. The Two Dumb Yinzers Network on YouTube. And tonight we're pushing it out to my personal Facebook page. So if anybody wants to be my friend, just look me up, Finch. And I'm also pushing to. Oh wait, no, I can't push to anything else right now. I don't have the paid account with the Restream app that I am using to stream. So anyway, the Gooners can't be here tonight. They had some things going on. Once again, Tim's not feeling the greatest. So here I am. I did send out the Restream links to those guys so they could still jump on wirelessly, or I shouldn't say wirelessly, but through their phone. But they haven't got back to me on it. And I know Tim is busy tonight, actually. His daughter has some stuff going on. I believe cheerleading or something of that sort. So, hey, man, you got to be dad. I'm a dad. I know what it's like. And that's the most important thing. Chatting with your friends on the internet for, 5 or 6 people, not quite as important. So, but for those that have come, we have a few viewers right now. Jamal, Tortilla, the two in chat. Please, everybody, chat. I will talk about whatever you want to talk about. But the main goal tonight is to get out my NFL picks for week 2. That's right. That's the plan. So, Tortilla, not gonna lie, Finch, you carry a pod alone. Well, that is very kind, but the pod with the boys is always the best. I agree. It's just the thing that's good about Tim and Ryan. By the way, for those that don't know, Ryan is Tim's nephew. Okay, so Ryan is in his mid-20s, Tim is in his early 40s, as am I. So there's a generation gap there, but we do. Ryan does like a lot of the same things that we do, as you have heard in some of the episodes we've done, especially media type episodes where we've talked about movies and music and stuff, and the past video games, shit like that. Speaking of video games, I do have a video game topic tonight we can chat about for a couple of minutes. I promise not to bore you to death with the gaming stuff. But something really cool happened today, and something else really cool happens tomorrow. So I wanted to bring it up. But yeah, the goal tonight mostly is to get the picks. normally the two dumb yinzers, I'm on their show once or twice a week during the season. And on Thursday, we do our picks every single week religiously. And this week, I submitted my picks to Ryan. I gave it to him. I text him personally so that that darn derpy didn't see or hear what I was going to pick first because he's derpy's a little what's the word there? He's a little derpy. So he likes to steal picks. That was a big like meme last season. Was Mike would always pick first, and because Derpy would win every week, so Mike would pick first. He would defer his pick to Mike, and then Derpy would just copy Mike's pick every single time. It was annoying. Derpy was the repeating champion because of it. Derpy, I'm not like saying that you're a dick or anything. You're cool. I love you, Derp. You're my friend. And that's a great strategy. Don't get me wrong, it works. That's like the Price is Right strategy. You know what I mean? I bid $1, Bob. I bid $2, Bob. And then it comes out to $399. The other two people bid way over, and the $2 bid wins. And that $1 bid person just know what I'm saying? Jamal, shit, I'm on the sticks, right? Finch playing Ghost of Tsushima. So I enjoyed that game a little bit. I didn't get to play much of it. It was on PlayStation Network for a while. I didn't purchase that game, but I have PS5 and I have all the consoles, and I definitely gave it a shot. I went through the opening tutorial section. The art is beautiful. I mean, an absolutely gorgeous game. But at the time, if I recall, there was something else that I think I was like playing stuff on Game Pass and PSN, waiting for the next game, big game to come out. And when I played that, I got into it, got up 2 or 3 hours into that game, and then ended up going to whatever game it was that I had pre-purchased. Come out a few days later. I can't remember what it was, but a few years ago, I did think it was awesome, and I swore to come back to it. But now the sequel is coming out. Do I just go for the sequel? I don't know, man. I actually did that with Hollow Knight, believe it or not. I messed around with that game a little bit years and years ago, and then they released this sequel last week. It's one of the most hyped video games of all time, no joke. A $20 video game. I bought it, and I've been playing through it. It's fantastic. This sequel is awesome. I find it hard to believe that the first one is nearly as good, so now I don't wanna go back and finish the first one. And I'm afraid if I do that with Ghost of Tsushima, if I go and play the new one coming up. Sorry, I keep bumping the mic. If I play the new one, I might not want to go back and play the old one. So, what are you playing now? Jamal says. Okay, so I have a Switch too. I just finished up Donkey Kong Bonanza like last week. Pretty sweet. It was a great game. And then today, Nintendo had a direct presentation and they announced downloadable content for Donkey Kong Bonanza, like a roguelite mode. And I was like, "What?" Like, this game's already got, like, all these mashups of different genres, now they're throwing a roguelite mode in there. I thought that was pretty effing awesome, so I might be trying that out, but I don't think right away. I'm kinda sick of the Donkey Kong game right now. But the fun part of that game is it's very accessible and easy to get back into. I feel like I can put it down for a year, come back to it, and it would take me all 5 minutes to get it back. It's not like Dark Souls or Elden Ring where you have to, like, watch a tutorial to relearn the game. You know what I mean? Also on Switch 2, I've been dabbling with, once again, Hollow Knight. Sorry, Silk Song. I drew a complete blank. It's wonderful. I'm enjoying it, and it's a good handheld on the Switch game. So that's what I've been playing, like, to put myself to sleep. Lay down in bed, put it up in front of my face, enjoy the beautiful art and great music and really fun gameplay. Super cool game. A little stressful. Not gonna lie. It's a Metroidvania. You die a lot. I die a lot, but I'm having a blast. You just got Madden. You got to play both. And Donkey Kong said, "Yeah, Donkey Kong's great. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I truly loved it. Super fun. I got about 30 hours out of it before I finally was just like, okay, I've had enough." Um, and about 5 hours of that was the post game. So after I beat the game, I did a lot of post game stuff, and then finally I got sick of it. 30 hours is about my limit on a game, unless it's an epic game that really, you know what I mean, like a Breath of the Wild or Hogwarts Legacy really took me away. Cyberpunk took me away. I'm 100-hour game, you know. Tortilla likes. Oh, hold on. Let me go back a couple. Tortilla. I've been playing Madden. Yep. 2K only games good. Used to play Assassin's Creed, of course, Skyrim. Everybody has touched Skyrim at some point. When it was newer, I played it back on a 360. I have never played the special edition. I never got it for Switch. About 1,000 times it went on sale, and I thought about getting it on Switch and just didn't. But if they do an upgraded version for Switch 2 and it's like 30 bucks or less, I might finally reintroduce myself to Skyrim. I might give it another shot. Assassin's Creed, I love those older ones, man. As everybody does. I mean, the Ezio collections, mwah, chef's kiss. Of course, Black Flag is my all-time favorite Assassin's Creed game. Top 10 all-time favorite game in general. I love Black Flag. And recently played through Rogue, which is pretty good. It was on PSN about 6 months ago. I played through it. And it's basically Black Flag 2.0, and you get to play on the opposite side. You are a Templar. And it's interesting game, cool story. Runs on the same engine as Black Flag, so it's like familiar, it feels good. The ship compad's the exact same. Loved it. Newer Assassin's Creed, I've dabbled in most of them. Odyssey was beautiful. I really liked Odyssey a lot. I got a lot of time into that one. Origins pretty good. Haven't played Valhalla, and I haven't played the newest one yet, Shadows. If you got a Switch, we should play some Smash. Oh, I've got Smash. I played a good bit of it back when it first came out, but to be honest with you, I was never any good. I would play online and just get crushed constantly. But I would be willing to friend up now that I have a Switch too. It's got that now we have the game share feature. We could do game chat on there, and that would actually be pretty effing cool. Um, that's a good idea, actually. We'll get the socials on that. We'll figure something out. Tortilla likes GTA. Who doesn't? Come on, man. GTA is great. I have a solid collection of video games, and a good percentage of them are the GTA games. I own, I think, just about every one. I don't have the original on PS1. I don't have the disc, but I have 2, 3, San Andreas, Vice City, the handheld ones, Chinatown Wars. I have them all, dude. 4, 5, of course. They're great. I only play as Samus. Samus is one of my all-time favorite characters. Oh, it's not over here. I have a couple of Samus amiibo right over there. Once again, I have a bit of a video game collection. Nothing crazy. I'm not AVGN video game nerd or anything like that. But I have a nice little collection of just stuff. The stuff you buy and you hold on to over the years. And once in a while, you see something cool and you buy it and you just never play it or you never use it. But usually, if I do that, it's something I bought super duper cheap at a yard sale or whatever. But anyway, I guess we're already on the video game chat. Let's talk about today real quick for 5 minutes. Nintendo, my favorite company, although I love all the consoles and most of the big, production companies. I can't think of the word. Publishers, thank you. Your EAs and are kind of dickheads, but I still like some of the games. But Nintendo had a direct today, and tomorrow is actually the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, and that is the game that got me into video gaming. I very specifically remember 1989. I went to Florida. I was 5 years old. Went to Florida on a family trip. My cousin, who's 5 years older than me, had a Nintendo. It was the first time I'd ever seen or even heard of an NES, and he had Mario Duck Hunt and The Legend of Zelda. And Mario and Zelda have become they were instantly my all-time favorite. I loved them immediately. I begged for a Nintendo, and sometime within the next year, dad came home with one. He liked Duck Hunt. And then, we started renting games, and we got into stuff. Dad would play. He played, like, Punch-Out and shit like that, but then once the Super Nintendo came out, and I got one of those a couple years later, my dad got out of gaming. It wasn't his thing anymore. Got ahead of him. It was too much for him. So, but yeah, Super Mario 40, I know, right? Damn, 40th anniversary. September 13th, 1985, Super Mario Brothers. Now, Mario himself has been out since Donkey Kong, first released in 1981. But Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario franchise was really where it kicked off, and that's what made the NES big in America and in turn around the world. Famicom had already been around, which was the Japanese equivalent, and it's Super Mario Brothers, man, awesome game. And today in the Nintendo Direct presentation, they talked about the new Super Mario Brothers movie. There's a sequel. Pretty pumped about that. I think it's going to be awesome. I love the first one, and this one's going to be based on Super Mario Galaxy. And to go with it, they're re-releasing the Galaxy games on Switch, and those are good games, super fun. Love it. Jamal, you needed to go Duck Hunt, but yes, yeah, the gun for Duck Hunt was super fun. Um, I loved it, man. It had a satisfying click, and there was a few games you could play with the gun, but Duck Hunt was the very best, and it was a good time killer, man. I needed to kill 10 minutes, Duck Hunt was good for 10 minutes. Not much longer than that, but super fun. And then Punch Out, yes, especially the original Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I've gotten to Mike Tyson. I was able to get to Mike Tyson many times in my youth, but I could never beat the guy, man. And years later, when YouTube and stuff became a thing, and people started posting how you have to beat him, I remember watching it and thinking, yeah, it's never gonna happen. Even though that I know what you have to do, I know what to look for, the game still moved so fast that even then, when my reflexes were a little better, and my eyesight was a little better, it's just no, that game is just too fast for Jeff. Jamal mentions Tecmo Bowl. Hey, man, another absolute classic. I didn't own the original Tecmo Bowl on NES, but I had rented it before, and a friend of mine had it, so we played it at his house. But I had Super Tecmo Bowl, and it was equally as awesome. But it didn't. It was a little more balanced. Whereas in the original Tecmo Bowl, I think if you picked the Raiders, you had Bo Jackson, and he was far and away faster than every other player in the game, and you could basically just cheese the game the whole time. EA sucks. I heard they made Battlefront 2 good, but it took them years to do it. All those games that release every year always suck. So, yeah, here's the deal with Battlefront. In case you're curious, Battlefront, the first one had come out, and it was mostly just a multiplayer game. It was really good. That was the reason I bought a PS4 was for Battlefront. It was pretty good. I liked it. It was fun. I had a couple friends that were into it. They talked me into buying a system. Got the game. I loved it. They released Battlefront 2. I didn't buy it at the time because there was a lot of controversy, as you had just mentioned, and the reason was it was still an online game, but, they added a story mode, which was cool, but they made everything locked behind either, like, hundreds of hours of gameplay or just paid online upgrades, so microtransactions. EA took a lot of heat for this. So, basically, you could go and play for 2 or 300 hours, which is an unbelievable amount of time to spend in any video game, to earn the chance to get Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker. Whereas in the first game, you would unlock them easily. It didn't take much, you know. You ever play Soul Calibur? That's an old game I only played Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube. I own it. I still own it. I have the disc, the box, completed box right over there on the shelf. I loved it back then, but I have not touched it until a couple weeks ago because on Switch 2 they've added the GameCube player, and I subscribe to the online on there currently. It's the only one I have. I do not have Game Pass or PSN right at this moment. However, I currently subscribe to the Switch Online, and they just added Soul Calibur 2, like 2, 3 weeks ago, something like that. So of course I gave it a shot, and eh, eh, it was fun. Like I started a new mission, new story. Got through the first few fights, and I remember, it came back to me pretty quick. However, the Switch Pro controller just doesn't quite work as well for it. The way that it's just moving your fingers around, the GameCube controller is much better. So I went and bought the GameCube controller for the Nintendo Switch Online. Yes, I did. It was, I think, like $70. I spent the money. I fucking did it. I'm not joking. I'm a video game addict. Anyway, I have it. It's over there. It's beautiful. I love it. It works great. I tried Soul Calibur one more time after that. Felt much better. I still suck at it. And the only other GameCube game on the Switch 2 that I dabbled with a little bit was the F-Zero. F-Zero GX is on there. I'd never ever played that game. I always wanted to try it, but I just never got around to buying it back in the day. 20 years ago when those games were new, I didn't exactly have money to burn. Whereas now, I don't really have money to burn now either. But I've been eating a lot less. Let's just say that. Oh snap! All right, Jamal says bought. What did you bought? Oh, the original Battlefront 2 was your favorite game on PS2. So I had a PS2 back in the day, but that was the beginning of my adulthood. You know what I mean? It was actually Ryan Garazunas, the main host of the Two Dumb Yinzers. He actually talked me into buying a PS2 specifically to play Madden '04. We had worked together at the time. I would have been 20 years old, I think. And so I did it. I bought a PS2. I wasn't a PlayStation guy at the time. I had a PS. My sister, I should say, had a PS1. She had a couple good games for it. She had Metal Gear Solid. I played that, loved it. A couple other games too on it. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. There was a few. Uh, but yeah, the PS2 for Madden and for Tony Hawk. I got addicted to the Tony Hawk games on the PS2 as well, and went on to collect most of those cartridges and or discs. I have most of those games. Love them. Tony Hawk's phenomenal. One of the greatest of all time. The newest one just came out, and of course I bought it. It's the remake of 3 and 4, which is cool. As I just said, Tony Hawk 4 was the first Tony Hawk game I really got addicted to. I did rent Tony Hawk 2 previously, I believe on the N64, a year or two before that when I was still in high school, because it was all the rage. Tony Hawk games were all the rage in high school. I had a lot of skater friends in my grade and in some of my classes. We all loved video games because late 90s, man. Late 90s, all the boys were playing video games in high school. Every one of them. Some of them were playing Pokemon, but most of them were playing the good Nintendo shit, the wrestling games, the N64 wrestling games, PS1, Metal Gear Solid, that stuff. I mean, that was right up our alley, and that's what we grew up on. And most people designing games now are my age and creating new stuff with so much inspiration from the stuff that I grew up loving that it's just right now is I don't want to say a golden age of gaming, but it's a high age in gaming right now in terms of some of the content. Now, there's a lot of problems with the industry, but some of the content coming out every year, there's always 5 or 6 games that you're just like, wow, phenomenal games. Let me go back a couple here. Dude, we can do the video game stuff for a while. I don't care. It's all good. This is my show. However, we do need to get to the NFL picks in a little bit, but yeah. So Tortilla, I missed the GameCube. I used to play Zelda, hours, Pokemon, Zelda. Of course, that's my all-time number one favorite series. I own every single game. Not every single version of every game, but I have a physical copy of every Zelda game, 21 of them, in fact. I love them. And yeah, Zelda was the for GameCube, that would have been Wind Waker. And that was a good game. I loved it. Pokemon, never really got into Pokemon. I've dabbled in it. I did not have a Game Boy. I was not a portable gamer kid. I just wasn't. We didn't have a lot of money. I was very fortunate to have an NES and like, one game system every 3 or 4 years. I had a grandma who was kind enough to hook me up a couple of times. But a Game Boy was one thing I didn't get. So I didn't get into the portable gaming until the Game Boy Advance SP came out. By that time, I was in college and I had a job, and I didn't have a lot of money to spend, but I think it was less than $100, I believe, to buy it. So it wasn't like it was a super. It was one paycheck. I had enough to buy it, and I did, and that was where I played another Pokemon game for the first time. I really got to get into it. I don't know. I can't remember whatever that was. It like the third gen or whatever was on the Game Boy Advance. Was it Emerald, Ruby? I think it was Pokemon Ruby. I played maybe halfway through it. It was all right. It was cool. And then a few years back, I got a 3DS, and they had a really nice eShop on the 3DS, and it had a virtual console, and they were selling like old Game Boy games for like $1. So I bought like Link's Awakening, which I had never played the original Game Boy version because I didn't have it. I own it now. Retrospectively, I own a copy of it, but I didn't then, and never played it until it came out on the 3DS. I was able to play it on there, and also Pokemon Yellow, and that's the only Pokemon game I played all the way through. It was fun, but it really wasn't my thing. I kind of just wanted to finish it just so that I could say I finished a Pokemon game and just get a little bit of gamer cred. I have nothing against Pokemon. I think I was just a little too old for it when it first came out. Once again, my cousin, he was a few years younger, like 3, 4 years younger than me. He had a Game Boy and he was into Pokemon pretty good. And he brought it over. He would stay over at our house for the weekend or something. And I tried it. Thought it was neat, like I said, but I wouldn't have been caught dead in school, especially high school, playing Pokemon. That's for sure. Not at that time, not in 1999, 2000. Now it's everybody. It's cool. Like, kids are 18 years old playing Pokemon in school, and it's totally cool. But when I was in school, you would get ridiculed. And Tim will tell you that. Timmy Harris, the other one of the 3 Gooners who should be here but is not. Actually, I should send him the link to the YouTube thing here. He probably didn't notice. Let me do that real quick. Chat amongst yourselves. This is a very professional show here. Tell you what, let's put on a little of that jazz that we had going. Anybody that missed it during the intro, I had a countdown. I found a couple of jazz tunes here. Very good stuff. I'm loving it. How do I find the link to the YouTube video? I am a technological genius guy. 'cause I get back to talking. Record scratch. Anyway, all right, we'll blast through a few more of these comments, and then we're gonna get to some NFL chat, guys. I hope you don't mind. Hope you don't mind. Yeah, that first system was my sister's, and Crash Bandicoot was my first game played. Yes, Crash. We had it. My sister had Crash Bandicoot, the original one, just the first one. Metal Gear Solid and Splinter, or not Splinter Cell, Siphon Filter. That was the other game, like espionage. She was kinda into those and, got me into it. I was into it too. They were good, especially Metal Gear Solid. Then we had a couple sports games as well. Don't discount, that. I was never big on the realistic sports games, but a little earlier in the gaming generations, I liked them better than, NHL '94, obviously an absolute classic. I played the crap out of that. And then on PS1, I think we had NBA Live '97 or '98, one of them, and it had a really good creative player mode where it would just let you create a player and you would have the ability to create their height and you could just make a whole team of guys at 7'11". That was literally how tall you could make them, or as short as I think 5'4". You could name the player whatever you want, and then his stats, you didn't have to earn the stats. It would just let you have full stats to start. So you would just give like he would there, 5 or 6 different stat categories, speed, ball handling, shot, 3 point, dunk, whatever, air, defense, and you could just max it all out. So me and my friends would always do this thing where we would create a team where we would have 4 giant dudes, all 7'11", and then the center would be 5'4". We would name him Jeff Ass. That's what we called him. We called him Jeff Ass, and he would have all the players had all top 10 stats and everything, and we would just play a season. We had a multi tap, so it'd be 3 of us, me and my 2 buddies, and we would we would get on the same team. We'd play the Bulls. We made our create a team, the Bulls, you know, and we would just dominate. We would win games like 200-24, 5-minute quarters, and Jeff Ass would have he would have like 140 points a game. He would just post up in center and the key, and we would just always pass it to Jeff Ass, and he would always just dunk the ball. And it was never a fail. It was the most fun. I wish we recorded video games back then. Our commentary was great. It was pure legendary shit for Twitch. I think we all had those moments as gamers with our friends in our youth that we really wish we could have like had a Twitch recording of, not just what was on the screen, but the conversation. I can remember many games. That one being a particular one, of course, Mario Kart, GoldenEye, where we would have just these epic battles. Even later, like Halo 2, Halo 3. Just I miss great multiplayer gaming. I'm not saying that there aren't good multiplayer games now. Fortnite's a lot of fun. I enjoy Fortnite with my friends on the very rare occasion that we play. Minecraft, a lot of fun with friends on the rare occasion we play, and other things. But it ain't like it used to be, and maybe it's just because we're old. But I think it has something to do with the game. However, my daughter plays Roblox, all right, and we monitor it pretty close. I'm aware of the Roblox stuff, but she has a friend from school who plays. She has it on her phone. They just get on a call and they play, and she will have fond memories of that. The way I have fond memories of playing Duck Hunt with my dad or whatever. And of course, she and I play games together too, mostly Mario Kart and some silly stuff. Like there's a game on Switch called Boomerang Fu. It's like an arena battle game, super fun. It's real cutesy, very kawaii, that Japanese anime style to it. Not really my thing for the art style, but the gameplay is super fun. And when you got multiple people, it's a blast. In fact, my mom was here today. She's in her 60s. The only video game she's ever played is Donkey Kong and Super Mario Brothers. And we had her playing Boomerang Food today, and she did pretty good. It was a blast. Gaming, couch co-op, man, good stuff. I miss it. Came out with the new Skate. I will still play Skate 3 all I grew up with Tony. So I never once tried a Skate game, not one. And I know it's a different scheme with the controls and stuff, and it looks cool. Like I've seen some streams and stuff of some of the other Skate games. Um, just I don't think I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, I'm good with my Tony Hawk. I'm still working through the remake of this other one as well. I haven't been playing it much because I've been on my Switch 2 a little bit more, but I'm getting back into the Tony Hawk. That game, any Tony Hawk game, I could just pick up and play at any time. Anytime I have a gap in my play schedule, so to speak, there's not something coming out that I'm dying to play. and I want to go back to something, Tony Hawk is always a good one. And it's one that's fun to live stream as long as you remember to click the little button that shuts off the music because otherwise, boom, copyright every time. Bruh, can't Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, Crash was cool. I did putz around with obviously the original Crash. We owned it back in the day, super fun. There was one on Wii that I picked up for like $1 at a yard sale because my wife said that she had played Crash as a kid. We tried it. It was okay. I don't remember getting very far in it, but I remember thinking, "Yeah, it's Crash Bandicoot," and just couldn't get into it. And then that latest one, It's About Time, Crash 4 came out a few years ago. It was on Game Pass a while back, so I gave it a shot. Once again, it's more Crash. It's much cleaner, it looks great, and it has, like, side-scrolling sections and stuff, I like that. But, yeah, once again, I played about 3 or 4 levels, and I was like, "Okay, I'm good. That was my Crash fix, I don't need to beat the game." It's not like Mario where I have to beat it. If I start a Mario game, I'm playing it till Bowser's down. You know what I mean? Let's see. Brother's totally into Pokemon. You grew up watching the show. See, I didn't get into the show at all. In fact, I didn't get into any of the anime shows, any of them. Not hating, but like there were so many of them, and like the ones that are like the god tier ones now, like Pokemon and Dragon Ball, uh, and some of the I'm thinking of Princess Mononoke. What was that? Studio Ghibli, right? All of that anime stuff was real big when I was in middle school, high school. Once again, mid '90s, late '90s. You know, that's when that stuff became international, and I had a lot of friends that were into it. I just I couldn't do it. I just didn't like the art style, man. It wasn't for me. The stories I know are wonderful. Maybe one day, when I'm have more time to spend watching TV and movies again and doing things like that instead of live streaming to my friends and playing video games. Maybe I'll give those a shot. Even the Pokemon show, I'd give it a shot. I think the Pokemon game I'd play more was like a Street Fighter Soul Calibur PvP game. Wonder what that would be. I know there was like that Pokken tournament or whatever. It was Pokemon Fighters type stuff. Tortilla, I talk too much, Fitz. Free fill, just move on. No, it's cool, man. I like talking about this shit. Dude, you guys, I have 2 viewers right now. It's the both of you. Nobody else is gonna watch this retrospectively, so it's us, bro. This is bird brain, my tiny little Finch brain. As long as we get the picks in before the hour mark, we'll be good. NHL 94 says Jamal. Yes, that's a classic game. I love it. I have a little device. It's called a Trim UI Smart Pro, and you can load ROMs on it and play all the old classic games on it. It looks like a PSP. It's about that big. Woo. Smaller than a Nintendo Switch, quite a bit smaller. It's a little bit bigger than my smartphone, than my iPhone. And I put NHL 94 on it, and it has updated rosters. Every year, somebody patches the game, and I found the updated patch. So, last year's rosters, the last season's rosters I have on there. So I'm playing NHL 94 with like Ovechkin and Crosby and all that. It's pretty good. Packers look good. You think we have a chance against them? We play them like week 7 or 8. Yeah, we'll bring up the schedule. I have my picks up. We're gonna go over those in a couple minutes. They looked good. Yeah, I said on Two Dumb Yinzers the other day, I think the Packers are a contender for the NFC, and I have reasons for that. And when we go through the picks, I'll explain myself a little bit better. Um, Never played NHL, but I always wanted to, just never played it. Yeah, it's fun. NHL 94 is good. There was also, I think the power play games on the N64 were good. Green Bay did look good. Yes, they did. It's like FIFA and UFC mix. Yeah. WCW Revenge. Yep, that was a classic. Those were the oh, what's the name? THQ. THQ made a couple of games on the N64 and PlayStation 1 and wrestling games, and I believe WCW NWO Revenge was one of them. WCW NWO World Tour was another one. There is actually, this is how much of a nerd I am. A YouTuber I follow named RGT85. Shout out to RGT. I know you're not watching, but he is a huge fan of old wrestling games and just wrestling in general. I'm not into wrestling. I was then. I haven't been into it for over 20 years. I do not follow wrestling. I know who some of the main characters are. Like I know who Cody Rhodes is now. I know who John Cena is, one of the biggest, most popular people on the planet, but I don't follow it. However, back then I loved it and I still nostalgically love wrestling, especially WCW, especially NWO. That's what got me into it. And um This YouTuber RGT wrote a book recently, and it's just a paperback, but it's real nice. Like it feels like a super high quality pamphlet or magazine. And he it's the detail of every single wrestling game released on a Nintendo 64. It's a very nice book, and I bought it for $20 off of Castlemania Games, and the copy I got was a signed copy. So I got a signed copy by one of my favorite YouTubers of his book, and it's about N64 wrestling, and it's very niche, but I like it. Has great artwork, nice heavy duty paper in there. Like I said, like a real heavy catalog or magazine. It's a nice piece for the shelf, and it was nice to read through and brought back some memories. Ah, jeez. Yeah, don't forget WCW Revenge. Okay, yeah, be careful with Roblox. You're darn right. You said sounds like my mom is cool. My mom is cool. I'm a cool mom. We hung out today. She's flying to Texas to visit her brother next week, so I hung out with her today. One last good hangout before she leaves for 2 weeks, and then she hung out with my daughter after school. So, because when I have kids, I low key want to only give them old games before they're old enough to know, just so they understand. Dude, I tried that. It doesn't work. Tortilla, it just won't work that way. My daughter, she was about 3. I introduced her to video games, and I gave her Super Mario Brothers, first game I played. She did pretty much what I remember doing. You walk into the Goomba, you die. Oh, okay. Walk towards a Goomba, you learn that you can walk and jump. It took her about 5 minutes to figure out how to get over the first couple of parts of the level. And after a couple of game overs, she was able to complete 1-1, the most iconic level in video games, right? Well, maybe except for maybe Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, but one of the most iconic. And she was able to do it the same way I did it. And she thought it was cool, but she got bored of it and didn't want to play anymore. I had her try it a couple of times. I had her try The Legend of Zelda, the original one. No. Um, but as soon as she saw the first big game for her was Minecraft. As soon as she got her hands on Minecraft, she was about 5. That was it. That's all she wanted to play for years. That's all she would play. I would try to get her to play old games. She wouldn't do it. I would try to get her to play newer stuff. Other than Mario Kart, Minecraft was it. And then about a year ago, she wanted a phone, so I bought her an iPhone, put her on my account. All the parental stuff. Once again, we try our best to be as safe as possible. And she don't take it to school or anything like that, but she does have it to talk to friends, to talk to me and my parents or my wife's parents, and to play games. I let her play games on the phone. And when I started reading up on Roblox and learning about it, I felt it was okay. She could play it, and now that's the game. And she plays it when she's home. That's what she wants to do is play Roblox. Of course, we have to limit it, but she gets an hour a day of Roblox, and I'm okay with that, man. An hour a day of gaming. I mean, when I was her age, I was playing more than 1 hour a day of games. It's how you think I got so fat. But yeah, the kids are gonna play when you teach kids about game, once they get to school, they're gonna wanna play whatever it is their friends are playing, dude, and I doubt that all their friends are playing NES. They're all playing Roblox and Minecraft and Fortnite, and, once again, my daughter, I tried. She respects the old stuff. I could be playing an old video game, and she'll come in and she'll watch me play it. She'll ask me questions about it. She'll know some of the games are. If it's a Mario game, obviously, she knows it's a Mario game. If it's Metroid, she knows who Samus is, shit like that. And, that's kind of stuff I play from time to time still. And, she knows it. She's into it. She thinks it's cool, but she just I always ask her if she wants to play, and it's, "Nah. No, I'm good." The kids update with the Xbox. That's right. The newer consoles come out, that's what happens. That's what the kids go with. So anyway, we are 45 minutes in. Of course, about 7 minutes of it was the countdown at the beginning, but we managed to shove in a bunch of video game chat. I didn't expect that today. Once again, I wanted to bring up the Mario thing for about 2.5 minutes, but you guys you got me going. I'm long-winded, okay? That's my problem. That's why I enjoy doing this. That's why this works for me. This is why I suck on the Two Dumb Yinzer show. It's because I start talking and I don't let Mike or Derpy or Ryan talk. They hate that. I don't blame them. I would hate it too. But anyway, so let's get to these picks, huh? Right here. So let me tell you about my picks. A couple things here. First off, I have not only my paper picks for myself, but I got some picks on screen here. I just gotta take a moment and adjust it in a way that's actually readable. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Once again, I suck with Restream, man. I'm not good with this program. I'm just not. It's just not very good with me. So sorry about that. Anyway, that's good enough. You can see what's on there. So this is the two dumb yinzers, as most of you know, have their own pick'em on CBS Pick'em, and there's a good amount of people on it right now. Let me see how many of you are on there. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. 10. It looks like 10 people. That's pretty awesome. Picks here. And most of these people, or all of these people, are associated with two Yum Yinzers. I believe Tortilla might be on there. Um, Super cool, super fun. I've been having fun with the picks, you know. So we got the website up here, and I've got my picks, and the picks that I have on the paper are the same picks. What I've been doing is my father, his cousin, is doing like a pick 'em, like $1 a week for 10 weeks of the season, and it's literally just a game pick 'em by wins, just the way we do it on Two Dumbs Ninjas Network. So I've just been sticking to my picks on the paper, submitted them to my cousin, and then using those to make my picks online here. And then today, I listened to yesterday's episode of Two Dumb Yinzers, and I heard Mike and Derpy and Ryan's picks. Most of Ryan's picks. He didn't really give a pick, but he would agree, and others he wouldn't say anything. So there was a few I was unsure about who Ryan would take. Although I have a feeling who he's going to take in most of those games. So I'm going to compare my picks with those guys and just talk about each game real quick. We're just going to spend a minute or two per game. My NFL knowledge is not as good as Mike or Ryan. Anybody who watches the show knows that because I am constantly mistaken about shit, and I'm always happy to admit my mistakes. It's just I don't always know when I'm making a mistake. So I guess I'm more comic relief. Also, this is a pencil. Remember these? I bought a pencil sharpener recently. It's one of those ones that's on the wall like at school. I got one now, and it's remarkably nostalgic. Yeah. All right. Before we start the picks real quick, let's just hit up these comments. You dropped a few real quick when I was doing my little rant there. Kids, YouTube, crazy shit too. Be careful. Yeah, trust me, I've been all over it. She's been watching YouTube for years. I did not give her a YouTube Kids account. The thing I did was I gave her a regular YouTube account under my regular Gmail account. I have like 3 or 4 actually, I have 4 YouTube channels under one account, and one of them is for her. That way I can very easily on my phone click over and check the history, and there is parental guidance on that. It's not a YouTube Kids account, but there is still the ability of me to for me to make, parental stuff. So YouTube, and yes, people get around it. I'm aware of it. My kid is old enough now. She's 10. She's pretty smart. If she sees something that she's not supposed to watch, she knows that she's not supposed to watch it. Um, it doesn't shock me that she watches things she's not supposed to watch. I did when I was 10, but I learned some things I probably would have never learned that way too. So I'm just gonna let her do her thing because she's a child. She's a smart kid and she makes good decisions. So anyway, I would do the picks, but I'm already in like 5 fantasy football leagues, and I just don't feel like adding teams win loss to. I'd end up second guessing shit. Sure, I understand Tortilla. Maybe it wasn't you on that list of people. There's a whole bunch of you on there. Like I said, I think it was 10. You just got to focus on fantasy. I get it, man. That's cool. That's genius, Finch. What's genius? Me being awesome? Yeah, I know. I'm a genius. Tortilla, you definitely talk too much. Hey, me too, man. You type too much. You must be a fast typer. I'm a pretty fast typer too, but man, you got lightning fingers. Every time I look down, there's 7 comments, and they all are a paragraph long. I'm not complaining. Please do. I'm enjoying the conversation. You are making this show way more interesting than it would have been. Um, all right. Anyway, let's get to the pick. So, yesterday's game obviously already happened. Commanders and Packers. I had picked the Packers, as did uh Ryan, Derpy, and Mike. We all got that one. So right now, the 4 of us are even. I cannot imagine too many people picking Washington. I think Washington's solid. They had a good, obviously great finish last year. They lost the NFC title game, but come on, man. They were a Cinderella. Nobody expected them to go that far. I like Jaden Daniels, despite my good friend Tim here on the Three Gooners show. Whenever we, once a year we get that show together. He's a Bears fan, and he's a Caleb Williams guy, obviously, because that's the guy that starts for the Bears. He's the draft pick that got drafted ahead of Jaden Daniels, and then Jaden Daniels takes his team to the NFC title game, whereas the Bears dropped like 9 in the row or whatever after a freaking Hail Mary last year. Remember that? Now, statistically, the two of them were pretty close. We argued this on our show before, and Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams were statistically pretty even. In fact, I think Caleb was ahead in a couple of pretty key stats. However, Caleb takes a heck of a lot more sacks, and his team can't win around him. So, if you ask me, Jaden Daniels is a superior quarterback. However, Jordan Love, man, he's all right in Green Bay. That's another one. Tim, as a Bears fan, he thinks Jordan Love is way overrated. He thinks he sucks. Um, and I overrated maybe a little bit, but the guy has made some plays, and now he has a really, really great defense. And it's the Packers, I think, are going to do well. And they got the first, dude, they got 2 games to open the season at Lambeau. That's ridiculous. The Steelers can't even get a single freaking game to open the season, like ever. We always have to wait till week 2 or 3. Meanwhile, Packers, I think I read a stat the other day that was like their 14th or their 17th straight home game opening win. So, out of what, 25 years or whatever, the 17 of them or whatever was a home game to open the season, and they won all of them in that many years. That's a lot. That's a lot. Dude, you didn't read my Kanye quote. I don't. What's the Kanye quote? First of all, I don't know anything by Kanye, dude. I really don't. I mean, I've heard his couple of his songs, but sorry, bruh. I'm not that cool. I'm not hip enough for Kanye. Now I'm scrolling up trying to find it because I feel bad. Oh, is it the quote? Okay. White people get money, don't spend it. I'd rather buy 80 gold chains and go ignorant. Am I the white people? Is that what you're telling me? Am I ignorant? I don't even like gold chains. I like diamonds, though. Eat diamonds. That way your poo poo sparkles. Anyway, let's get to these picks. So on the screen, you can see. Let me switch this real quick. I'm gonna give the big screen. Yeah. That way you guys can actually see what's going on. So we already said Commanders, Packers. So we got Browns and Ravens. The highlighted one, the colored one. So that one's the purple, the Ravens. That means that's the one that I had previously entered my pick as. So makes it pretty easy on screen for you guys to see. I don't think anybody's picking the Browns. I don't think anybody on the Browns are picking the Browns. I'm pretty sure Shador Sanders wants the Browns to get crushed in this game. Um, because then it makes Flacco or whoever look bad, and then Shador could say, "Hey, I want to be the guy. I want to be the guy." But that's not gonna happen because he's garbage. Give me the Ravens by a lot. And the boys agreed. I think there was no doubt about it. Next, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Jaguars won their first game, but guess what? They played against a trash team. Carolina, right? Didn't they play Carolina? Yeah, they beat Carolina, right? The Bengals, pretty decent still. Joe Burrow, obviously awesome. I like that guy. Even though he plays for Cincinnati, I hate the Bengals. But yeah, give me the Bengals in that one. Plus, they're at home. There's no chance for the Jags. None. The Bengals are going to win by 20. I know the Bengals defense kind of sucks. The whole wet paper bag thing, but dude, the Jaguars, they are not Wildcats. They are freaking kitty cats, bro. Meow. All right, next. We got the New York Football Giants playing at the Dallas Cowboys. Dem boys. Dem boys are going to get a win this week. The Giants suck. Cowboys actually looked pretty good in that opening game against Philadelphia on Thursday night, the season opener. They played a pretty solid game. Dak looked good. Philly tried to give away that game, to be honest with you. There was a couple times the Cowboys, they got a little lucky, a couple calls. Not exactly great calls. But the Eagles still won that game, and the Eagles, to me, are the best until they're proven otherwise. So, but even that being said, give me the Cowboys. I believe, yeah, Mike. So far, I'm in total agreement with all the boys on the two dumb yinjers. They all said Cowboys. They all said Bengals. They all said Baltimore, and they all said Green Bay. So, no ground for me to make up on the picks yet. Let me hit these comments real quick. So I just wanted to hear you say that. Oh, you wanted to hear me say the clip. All right, I got you. You wanted me to talk shit on white people. Dude, I am not afraid to talk shit on white people. I am not one of those. I am not the elitist type. Let's just say I know what I have going on, and I try my best to work for me, make it work for me. and I'm trying not to hurt anybody's feelings. We're cool, man. White people suck. We ruin the world. Anyway, I just wanted to hear you say that. Yeah, that's my fault, Jamal. I buried your comment. For real, he talks too much. Tortilla was like just really burying it. Man, you got to be. He's either sitting on a PC typing with his fingers, at 95 words a minute, or he's using the voice. You're using Siri, aren't you? I knew it, Tortilla. I knew your little thumbs couldn't type fast enough on a phone. You got them chubby little sausage fingers like I do, don't you? I'm gonna admit it. Your name is Tortilla. For Christ's sake. Sausage fingers. Anyway, Jamal just meant that white folks save money and black folks spend their money on gold chains. Oh, okay, okay, okay. White folks still suck. Damn it. Anyway, meow. I'm not talking shit about white people, man. No, it's cool. You can talk all the we deserve it. Seriously, like, have you seen some of our Congress people lately? Like those white ones, man. They're fucking up, bro. But we don't talk politics here. We're here to talk football and video games, damn it. And speaking of football games, Bears and Lions. Bears and Lions. Do you have 11 fingers? Where's the 11th finger? Don't answer that. Jamal says it was actually a compliment to white people. Yeah, I think I agree. I understand where you're coming at with the Kanye quote being a compliment to white people. But white people still suck. We're ruining the world. Um, memories. Anyway, the Bears and the Lions. The Lions are crashing, dude. Let's talk about this for a minute. So they lost Ben Johnson, right? To the Bears. He's now their head coach, right? Am I right about that? I think I'm right about that. Bears come out, they looked pretty solid against the Vikings. The Vikings they did not great in the first half of that game, but the Bears, they played. Caleb made some plays. Second half, the Vikings come out. JJ McCarthy was calm, cool, and collective, whatever. He gave up that pick six, and after that, the dude just went lightning focus, and he won that game. And I don't think the Bears lost that game for the Vikings. I think the Vikings came back and won that game. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like the Bears played hard, but they did have a couple of little missteps at the end, and they missed a couple of plays. But at the same time, they got beat. I think the Vikings just played their hearts out. Good for them. So the Bears, they're 0-1, but they should be 0 in point 0.5, I think, in terms of how they played. I know that doesn't mean there's no such thing as what do they call it, a heartfelt win and a feel good loss. No such thing. But the Lions, man, they came out pretty flat. I know they played Green Bay, and I kissed Green Bay and Jordan Love's butt 5 minutes ago or whatever it was. But the Lions, yeah, dude, they're gonna fall flat again. I know this game's in Detroit. I just feel like the Bears, man. I think the Bears are gonna go on a little streak here. I think they're gonna win a few games, and they're gonna do what Washington did last year. They're gonna turn some heads and get people thinking, "Ooh, okay, that young quarterback, man. They got that Ben Johnson. He's a great coach. We might hear some great sound clips from Ben Johnson this year. That is his name, right? Ben Johnson. If I'm wrong I'm too lazy to just look it up, but you know the guy anyway. The Bears head coach. I think he's going to get a lot of credit. I think the Bears are going to improve. I don't think they're going to go to the NFC title game like Washington, but I think they're going to turn some heads. So I like them to win at the Lions. And that is the first pick of the week where I disagreed with the Yinzers. They went with Detroit. Both of them went Detroit. I went with Chicago. Excuse me. I'm picking Chicago. Those guys are picking Detroit. I feel good about the Bears this week. And I know Timmy is a Bears fan. Once again, Timmy and Gooners. I say his name all the time. Like it's like Tim is he's like Norm's wife on Cheers. You hear her mentioned all the time, but you never actually see that person. You know what I mean? Or Maris, which was Niles' wife on Frasier. Remember? They do that from time to time. Howard's mom on Big Bang Theory. You never see her, but you hear her. She talks. They talk about her. That's Tim Harris to this show. That's Tim. He is that invisible voice. So we just mention him like he's an actual person. Give me the Bears. Yeah, but you and the other two dumb yinzers, y'all the shit. Thank you, Jamal. That's super cool. Super cool of you to say. Those guys are awesome, the yinzers. They brought me on in the middle of last season. I've been friends with Ryan for over 20 years, and he's had this podcast for few years, and I had checked it out, obviously, because he would tell me about it. And always thought it was pretty cool. And then last year I got back into the show and I started commenting, and I got a call from Ryan one day. He's like, "Bro, come on the show. It'll be fun." And because he and I used to have a lot of debate back in the day about sports and everything, really. And we just had a lot of fun working together and talking. And we can both chat. and it's worked out really well. So that's very nice of you, Jamal, to say that we're the shit. We have fun doing it. It's a lot of fun. Tortilla, I mean, shit, I'm white and my YouTube name is Tortilla. And when I made the name, I thought that's how you spell tortilla. So there's no Mexican blood in you? None? I like to think I'm pretty cool, though. I just want to make people laugh, but I ain't got nothing against anyone except Derpy. Fuck Ohio. Vanilla Thunderbird is cool, aka Mike. Yeah, Derpy's cool too. Derpy's a nice guy. Ohio sucks. It's the armpit of the earth. I believe I heard Myron Cope on the show last week say something about rolling out of bed in heaven and literally pissing on Ohio every day. I loved it. I thought that was awesome. Vanilla Thunderbird. Isn't that like a white Ford? He's white as shit, all right. I like the Vanilla Thunder thing, by the way. I told Mike this off air, but I think the Vanilla Thunder angle is pretty fun. But I think he needs to tone it down. Make it a character that's only on a couple days a week. Like Vanilla Thunder does the picks or something, I think would be the way. I think on Tuesday and Wednesday shows, when they do Wednesday shows, which they have been lately, I think it should be back to good old Mike, even though it's not like he acts like Vanilla Thunder in character all the time either. That's true, I guess. If he likes wearing the bandana and shit, then you know, more power to you, Mike. Love you, brother. Where are we at on the picks? All right. You guys can see it on the screen, right? All right. So we did the Bears last. Now I got Patriots and Dolphins. All right. This is another one. Now listen. If we go back and quote my last appearance on the show when we did picks, or after the picks, I believe it was on Tuesday of this week, Monday or Tuesday of this week. I said something along the lines of I will never pick the Dolphins again because I picked them to beat the Colts. Because of course I did, right? I thought, man, Dolphins offense high flying as long as Tua doesn't get hurt. He's pretty good. I like Tua. And then they go out and lay an absolute egg. A McDaniel-sized egg in the middle of RCA slash Lucas Oil slash whatever fucking bank owns the place now field in Indianapolis. A beautiful facility, I believe. I've been told. I'm sure it's nice. But the Dolphins, man, I picked them last week. And I said after that, it's like, I'm never picking those mother effing Dolphins again. And I said that prematurely because I did not look at the week 2 picks when I had said that. You know what I'm saying? Tortilla says, I'm a little Portuguese. Oh, which part? Um, when I looked at this and I saw Patriots and Dolphins, I immediately had flashbacks of the GOAT, Tom Brady, throwing 4 picks in Miami. The Patriots can never win there. It's like a thing. And I know it's a completely different team now. You know, there's no more Belichick. You know, Kraft is not really there anymore. It's like it's a completely different team. That logo is the only thing that's the same. But dude, there's just something about rivalries and divisional games that just transcend. I mean, look at the Ravens and Steelers, right? Transcends cities. That rivalry goes back to Cleveland. Um, I like the Dolphins in this game. I honestly believe because McDaniels, right? Josh McDaniel, whatever the hell his name is, fucking nerd. That Rex Ryan called him a nerd the other day, and I thought it was hilarious. It was totally on point, very out of pocket. You don't hear that kind of shit on ESPN too much. It was good though. It was classic Rex Ryan. Calls this coach a nerd, and I honestly think that this is his redemption game because I kind of like the guy. Kind of a McDaniels fan last year. I thought he took that team and did something with it. They looked better. They weren't great. They had that super fast offense, man. Everybody was outrunning everybody else on that offense. And there was promise. That's why I picked them last week. Oh, well, what you going to do? But I'm taking the Dolphins this week because the Patriots always seem to lose there. I think McDaniel's going to win here, and he's going to get some swagger back. He's going to have a great press conference. He's going to say something. They're going to win this game by a good bit, like a couple touchdowns. They're going to win this game, like 21-6 or some shit. And I think that he's going to get some swagger, and then the Dolphins are going to go on to lose like 7 straight. They're going to be this year's Bears. About 5 games into that losing streak, McDaniel gets fired. Some interim comes in, and the wheel just keeps on turning in Miami. Same old, same old. Sorry, Dolphins fans. By the way, Mike took the Dolphins, but Derpy took New England. Ah. That was one of only 2 splits between the 2 of those guys. Those 2 picked every other game together, by the way. It took me way too long to realize you were playing Myron the other day. I knew it wasn't Myron, but it took me like 3 to 5 minutes to realize that I knew the voice. My Myron, by the way, is terrible. It's not good. Like, I'm fully capable of admitting that. And I never thought it was good, but it's fun. It's fun to talk like this. Yoy! Double yoy! And, but I also was trying to do it as, like, Myron, but if he was giving wrestling promos. That was excuse me, I had a burp. That was the process in my brain of going through that interview. I told Ryan this beforehand. We were texting about it. He gave me the questions, and I had to come up with some answers on the fly, literally 20 minutes before the show. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk like Myron's giving a wrestling promo to Gene Okerlund, and it was super fun. I had a good time. I hope we do it again. I know they want to do it again. I just don't. We got to make the timing work out, man, because it's hard for me to get on the show with my work schedule. That's the big reason I'm not on Yinzers more. Be honest, perfectly honest with you, man. I have a full-time job. I work almost 50 hours a week. Gotta do it. I don't the Yinzers don't pay me, bruh. I wish they would. They could if you guys would go to hit the super chat button there. If anything, please just hit like. That costs you nothing. Tap that like button. Help my friends out here at the Two Dumb Yinzers YouTube channel. The Two Dumb Yinzers Network. Hit that like button. Tell your friends, share, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You tell girls you're Portuguese, you say, Tortilla? Hey man, that's a move. If you got like the right skin tone for it, the Portuguese have that slightly darker, because they're a little close, not closer to the sun, but they get more sun. Um, so if you got a little of that good, that Iberian Peninsula look like a lot of the Spanish people have, you could probably get away with that. It's a good lie. And if you learn how to just learn a couple phrases, like you are as beautiful as a daily flower, just something stupid. Learn it in Portuguese, speak it with a perfect accent, and just comment it to a girl randomly someday you meet at like a bowling alley. And you're in, dude. You'll be sticking your thumb in her butt so fast. Portuguese. Look that up while we're online here. What is Portuguese for thumb in the butt? Why don't you look that up for me, Tortilla? When y'all are done, come over to Game Blitz with Izzy. What's the at? Izzy sounds hot. I'm just kidding. My fault. I'd have to watch the Yonzers at work. I live in Cali. They go live at 8. Wow, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. You're all the way out west, man. That kind of sucks. Yeah, because those guys usually go on at about 11:30. They used to go on earlier. They used to go on pretty close to 11. So that'd be like 8 your time. Yeah, that kind of stinks. Kind of stinks. But the good thing is it is live on demand, so you can go back and catch it later. But it's not as fun. It's definitely more fun to catch live shows when they are live, especially when you have the ability to comment. Especially when you have somebody like Ryan and Mike who are excellent at keeping up with comments. I'm not as good at that. Ryan is particularly good at that. He has that multitask brain. He's smart in a weird way. Let's say that. And that's about the best compliment I can give the guy. All right, back to the picks. So we picked the Dolphins, but once again, Derpy picked New England. So boom. We'll see what happens. Next pick on here, I got the 49ers over the Saints. I don't have a dog in that fight. I just think the Niners are a much better team. Saints are kind of garbage. Fun fact, my cousin is currently in New Orleans right now. He is on vacation for this week and I think about half of next week, but he'll be there for the game. And I texted him the other day. I was like, dude, you gonna go to that football game while you're down there? Because he made like restaurant reservations at super high-end places like Emeralds and stuff. But he didn't really make too many other plans for the days. And I told him, I was like, dude, you should go to that Saints game, man. It'd be fun to catch an NFL game not at Steelers, not in Pittsburgh. Which is something I want to do one day. I'd love to go to an NFL game for 2 teams that I have no love or hate for at their stadium. You know what I mean? It'd be cool to go see like Bears at Packers. That would be fun. I'd like to go to a game like that. Niners at Saints. Heck yeah, man. If I was in New Orleans and I had a few extra bucks and I can get a ticket, I would go. It'd be fun. But anyway, I'm taking the Niners. That's all I have to say about that. Next, Bills at Jets. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say something about that real quick. Derpy is taking New Orleans and Mike is taking San Francisco. Ding, ding, ding. So Mr. Michael is going to be right because he picked the same as me, and we're going to get an edge up on Derpy for New Orleans. Derpy's the loser this week, by the way. He last week his picks were garbage, trash. He was the biggest loser. Yeah, he's continuing that trend by picking New Orleans. Next one, Buffalo at the Jets. We are all pretty convinced that the Jets, I mean, they look good against the Steelers. Let's be honest. But I think it's because the Steelers, the front line, both lines, I should say, just not that good. The team is better than average. The Jets looked good by proxy. Now, I will say Justin Fields threw some great balls, some very nice passes, good spirals, good speed on the ball, zipped a couple of them. I mean, threading the needle. I got to give Justin Fields a lot of credit for his performance. Of course, we already spoke about this on the show the other day, but um, and can he continue that performance against the Bills? Absolutely, he can. He can absolutely make the throws. Will his receivers get open against the Bills? Totally different question. Is he going to be running around all day against the Bills? He ran around a good bit against the Steelers. I'll give him that. There was some pressure on him here and there against the Steelers. There was only one sack, but he is very mobile. Um, but most of the throws he made were pocket throws. He made a couple decent throws for on the run, but he throws much better from the pocket. So getting him on the move, but still containing him behind the line of scrimmage is the challenge. And the Bills are up to that challenge, I think. They are. They also have a great offense. The Jets do not have a great defense. Once again, the Steelers torched them. I mean, we torched the Jets D. So I think the Bills are going to win this game handily, and the Yinzers all think that as well. The next pick on the list here is the Steelers and Seahawks. Not a lot to say. I mean, let's be honest, man. I'm a Steelers fan. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be on the two dumb Yinzers. That's for sure. Steelers are going to win the game. Seahawks not that great. They're okay at best. They're at the shallow end of okay. They're about a D plus out of whereas the Steelers are about a C plus, maybe a B minus if you lean a little towards Aaron Rodgers, maybe a B minus team right now, the Steelers. But we're gonna win that game. It's in Pittsburgh. I have no doubt. Of course, these are the games the Steelers tend to lose. We tend to play down to our opponents. It's the home opener. We'll have all the energy of being a home opener. So, yeah, I think we're going to blow a couple games this year. I don't think this is the one, though. I think Steelers are going to win this handily. And so do the boys. The next pick we also all agreed with, Mike, Ryan, and myself, Derpy, all think the Rams are going to beat the Titans. There is nothing to say here, dude. Matthew Stafford is still good. The Rams, they're an okay team. The Titans are not. They are a basement dwelling team. It will be shocking if they win 4 games this year. Next pick. What do we got here? All right. Carolina at Arizona. Once again, I think we all agreed on this one. We all took Arizona. As I said earlier, the Panthers suck. The only reason Jacksonville is 1-0 is because they played Carolina last week. It's no good. It's poop. It's total poop. Tortilla says, Poso cocolar mu palagar no suabunda. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but that is Portuguese for "Can I put my thumb in your butt?" And that's from Google Translate. Thank you, Google. I'm so happy that those two young gentlemen back in the 90s created the Google search engine so that in 2025 we could ask questions like, "Hey Google, how do you say put can I put my thumb in your butt in Portuguese?" You nailed it, Tortilla. Did you hear that? Can I put my thumb in your butt? I don't know if you can see it, but right there is a yeah, here. See that screen there? This guy. This is quality television, guys. Anyway, put the camera back onto my beautiful face. Oh, you guys ain't right. Anyway, let's finish up these picks and get out of here, gents. and ladies. Arizona over Carolina. Everybody agrees. The next one. This is where I'm going to make up some ground, guys. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Danny Dimes, man. I believe in Danny Dimes. The Broncos do have a pretty good defense, but I'm telling you, man, Daniel Jones, he's gonna have a big. This is his breakout, man. He's gonna be okay this year. He's not gonna be great. He's not gonna be the next Peyton Manning, but he's gonna have some good games. He's going to have a career year in Indy. It's gonna work out. I think I think there's a positive thing going on there. He doesn't have to deal with that stupid New York media. He don't have to deal with that stupid New York weather. This is his best chance of becoming a starter and staying a starter for a couple seasons, earning himself a contract, and just being able to live the rest of his life and not have to worry about sucking at football again. Danny Dimes this year is going to be decent, and I think in this game he's gonna have a pretty good performance like he did last week. Once again, the Broncos have a good defense. They're a good team. I think they're going to slip. I think this, as I said about the Steelers earlier, there's always that one or two games where we kind of play down. We should play better, and we just don't. The Broncos are good for one of those too, and this might be the week they get it. So I like the Colts this week. Everybody else is picking the Broncos. I'm happy about that pick. I feel good about that pick. The next pick, however, Eagles at Chiefs. I feel good about that one too, man. I think the Chiefs are finally done. I think they are on their way down. This could be Reed's last year. If the Chiefs drop to 0-2 right now, I know it's hard to count out Pat Mahomes. He still has a good team around him. It's going to be hard to catch up. The Chargers, I think, are pretty good, and I think they've already stole that win from the Chiefs. I think they're going to steal a couple more wins in the next couple weeks and really pull ahead of the Chiefs and the Kansas City Cheats, excuse me, as Tim would say. Uh, I like I like I like the Eagles in this game, and I like the Chiefs to really falter. I think they'll win a bunch of games after this, but starting 0-2, man, this might be it. And if they fail to win a division this year, this might be the year that Andy Reid retires. He retires, that's it for them, man. Because as good as Pat Mahomes is, I don't think he's Tom Brady. Tom Brady could have went anywhere and won. He proved it. I don't think Mahomes can do that, not unless he gets another quarterback whisperer. Next, Falcon at Vikings. Let's see. The Vikings. We all took the Vikings, and that's the right pick. Falcons are trash. Vikings are a good team. I did say earlier that the Vikings looked pretty bad in the first half against the Bears the other day. However, they did come back. They won that game. The Bears did not lose that game. I feel like the Vikings won that game. They played hard. They made plays when they had to. They forced everything they needed to happen. The Bears did not look terrible. So I still think the Vikings are going to win this game. Once again, they're good. Falcons are not. Next, on Monday night, we got 2 Monday night games this week, guys. Dos Mondays. I don't know how to say Monday. It's like Lundi or something, right? Wait, that's French. I don't remember. Falcons at Vikings, we already said. Okay, Buccaneers at Texans. I am taking Houston. This is my upset. Another one of my upset picks. It's one of 2 upset picks for me. I think Houston sucks, dude. The Tampa Bay, dude, they're meh at best. Meh. I mean, hey, man, Baker Mayfield, don't get me wrong. He had a good game. I like Baker. I want to see him do well. I think they're going to slip up. I think the Texans are going to steal this win. And that is my upset because everybody else took Tampa Bay. And then final game, I think we were all in agreement as well. The Chargers. I like the Chargers. I think they're going to win. It's that simple. Raiders just aren't that good. Pete Carroll never loses an opening game. So I'll give them that for the Raiders. But and they are playing at home, Allegiant Stadium. Beautiful stadium. I was there recently. But that's where I'm at, dude. These are my picks. So I'm just going to run them down real quick. Give me the Packers, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Bears, the Dolphins, the 49ers, the Bills, the Steelers, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Colts, the Eagles, the Vikings, the Texans, and the Chargers. It is done. We got the picks. You guys agree? Disagree? What's my worst pick? Be honest. What was my worst pick, guys? All right, that's about it. We're going to wrap up the show. We've been on for quite a while. I didn't think I would carry it for an hour and 20 minutes by myself, to be honest with you. But thanks to my good friends in the chat, Tortilla and Jamal, we did it. Got all that video game chat out there. That's something I can talk about all day, just as much as I can talk about football. Probably more knowledgeable in the video games now than I am about modern football. 20 years ago, my knowledge is sound, but I just don't follow it the way I used to. And it's because my attention span, and you'll notice this as you get older. It's harder to pay attention to more things. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? That's where I'm at in life. So, but that's okay. I have the things I love. I have the people I love, my friends, and we're just here having a good time. You guys are just picking my bird brain. That's the name of the show. This is my new vlog here at the Two Dumb Users Network, Bird Brain with Finch. Thank you for stopping by. I had a great time. This was super fun. Remember, catch a Two Dumb Yinzers every weekday around 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on Two Dumb Yinzers on YouTube. Check out the website, twodumbusers.com, the2dumbusers.com, excuse me. Don't forget the2dumbusers.com, where Mike has his vlog, as well as he has a new thing, a little blurb. I think it's called Vanilla Thunder's Thoughts, some shit like that. I checked it out though, and it's entertaining. It's good stuff. It's definitely check it out at the2dumbusers.com. Don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe, please. Hit the little bell icon. That will make it so that every time one of us goes on, you will be notified on your device and you'll know you won't miss it. I know missing this show is not the biggest thing, but missing that daily show, man. It's that Two Dumb Yinzers. They're good. If you believe black and gold, like Myron Cope did, do it for Myron. Press that subscribe button. Don't forget to do that. Hit like. Do it for my friend Ryan. Listen. Vanilla Thunder. Double joy. Boom. Thanks, everybody. I love you. Have a great night. Have a fine weekend. Go Steelers.